James Melendez, James the Wine Guy. In this video, I'm going to talk about whiskey, so stay tuned. Whiskey, a great love and passion of mine, in addition to wine. So right now I'm James a Wine Guy and James a Whiskey Guy. It's a great art form, and it's a great art form in the making. And it's a great art form that is both new and old as well. And I think it's a really great time to be alive, tasting the beverage art forms, including whiskey. Great tradition here. So, when I think about this, I'm thinking of a very long tradition stemming from, say, the ancient Greeks, the Chinese, and the Mongolians. But that was a precursor to when you see the modern age of distillation. In about the 12th century, you see the school of Salerno in Italy creating spirits. You also see in Germany creating brandy, and in Ireland, Irish whiskey. And from that point forward, you have this great movement. And in 1494, in Scotland, in terms of the Exchequer roll, you find a friar by the name of John Coeur. And so he is allotted for the first time creating aqua vita, water of life, for the quantity of 8 bowls of malt. So that begins the tradition of Scotch. So what is whiskey? Well, basically it's fermented grain mash. Several different types of grains can be utilized, such as barley, corn, rye, and wheat, and basically aged in a wooden cask, and usually of oak. And there's a lot of traditions out there. So we have some American tradition right here. We have a Scotch right here. But you also have Australians, Canadians, the Danes, English, Finns, Germans, also the Indians have been making whiskey, but that was due to the influence of the United Kingdom. You also have, of course, the Irish, you have Japanese, and Swedish and Welsh traditions. In addition to that, the Dutch and the Spanish have also created their own whiskeys as well. So in the American sense, we have a tradition that is both, say, in terms of the Prohibition era. In Prohibition, while it was prohibited to create alcohol for distribution, it was still being created and it was still being distributed. There's no doubt that it was a terrible failure. But in that time, what ended up happening is, of course, you have a lot of things that went very, very south and very wrong during Prohibition. And ultimately, Prohibition was repealed because it was so poorly designed and enforced. And unfortunately, during the period after Prohibition, was also unfortunate because you have a lot of mainline producers producing mass quantities. And so I think up until, say, the 70s and 80s, you get into maybe more small batch production. What I like to term are the artistically driven, quality driven whiskeys, and that's where we get to today. I think there's a lot of notions out there that say the modern whiskey movement or the modern gin or vodka movement is relatively new. In some ways it really is not. It really stems from master distillers saying, that's good, I can do better. And I think there's the tradition that comes along with every single product line possible, and that is somebody who has the vision of creating a better whiskey, and I think we have it today. Now it's much more widely distributed than ever before, and that's a great thing for all of us because you'd have to be in maybe Louisville, Kentucky to be tasting these right here. And today you don't have to be. You can live just about anywhere and find beautiful whiskeys available at your spirits merchant. And of course, Scotch has been widely available for quite some time. So I love this art form. I have these brands here, and I'm going to do more. So I have more Michter's video reviews to go. It's a really beautiful producer. This is based in Louisville, Kentucky, as well as Woodford Farag here, which is, of course, a very well-known producer of Scotch whiskey. And of course you have the symbol right here of the Prince of Wales, so it's a purveyor too. And so this is a beautiful tradition. I tend to not mix these, but I'm not opposed to having a mixed drink with a whiskey, but I really do enjoy having a sipping beverage, sipping vessel right here, as I like to call this, to enjoy the pureness and the beauty of this beautiful art form. So stay with me, more videos to come. It's been an amazing 2014. And yet I suspect 2015 is going to be a repeat year. And you'll find me in many social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and WordPress. Thank you so much for watching today. Stay tuned for more. Salut.